Hello and welcome to another edition of Different Blokes. And again, we're reviewing the news this week, aren't we? So, shall we get straight into it, Mick?
Straight into the news this week.
What's your number one?
My number one, good news. In Australia today, a young lad went missing 3 days ago. He's been found, all well and good. Apparently located some water, so he was drinking out of the stream, so he's all right. They found him. Good news. So, well done.
Maybe I've been in a cave a little bit this week, but I didn't know that made the news at all.
Ah, well, there you go.
So why are we finding out about an Australian boy in our news? Surely there's been more close to home.
No. Well, not much. We're not allowed to know much, are we, really?
Oh, that's true. Right, well, my number one. New eco petrol baffles a quarter of motorists, which I didn't think there was much to baffle you because, from what I understand, it's 10% ethanol, right? And your car, if it's made after 2011, is all good and nothing to worry about. But apparently, motorists are stressing out. There's a government checker as well. You can put your number plate in and check it. But it's it's all for the environment. But I don't know what the confusion is.
Okay, we'll unconfuse it. Petrol, it's petrol. Diesel has two different types, but both of them will work in a diesel car. So all you do is the more expensive diesel has different additives to it.
It's a new petrol E10. It's got ethanol in.
Right. If you go to a garage and it says E10, put your normal petrol in. Don't ask questions. All right.
It will work though. There's no issue with it.
It's petrol. It's a combustion engine. It works out.
They're getting rid of all the traditional unleaded. It'll all be E10. So that's what's happening.
Remember, we used to have 2-stroke and 4-stroke. So it's another thing. It's don't worry about it. Go for it.
What's your number two?
Number two, Big Ben. 4 years we've been waiting for Big Ben, and the countdown has begun, as they're saying.
Oh, so you're on about the clock and not a dodgy friend.
Yeah.
Just clarify that one.
Yeah. Right, okay. Big Ben, 4 years in preservation. Restoration.
Preservation.
I don't think might be the first thing. Anyway, interestingly, on that is the hands of Big Ben. When you see the face of Big Ben.
Sorry, my mind is going here. Right, okay. Sorry, the clock. We'll stick to the clock.
Okay.
We'll stick to the clock. Yeah, go on.
Big Ben the clock.
Right,
so,
you said clock
Big
then.
Ben,
Right, okay, right.
Hands.
Sorry, Mick. Go on. I've totally ruined your number two here.
Right. Interestingly, you see it on the news and everything like last time you saw it going dong dong. Right. The face is white. And all the things are black, but they're not, because when they've been redoing it, they've taken all the layers of paint off, and they found out it's blue. So when Big Ben comes online again soon, not exactly certain when, but soon it is.
Okay.
The actual face is actually a dark blue.
But is that not true of paint though? That's over time in the sun anyway. It does go to shades of blue.
No. They've actually painted it black at some point.
Oh, okay. Right.
But they've scraped it down to the original colour, and the original colour is actually Prussian blue.
There you go then.
So it's Prussian blue.
Right.
What's your number two?
Number two, Wetherspoons are low on beer. They're blaming it on the driver shortage. Now, just before we get onto this, I don't want to get into the grumble of the week. If people are still going to the Wetherspoons after the way they treated their staff and the public during coronavirus, I'm sorry, I did see it and I thought it's making a headline. I'm not interested. It's not a headline for me. No. Wetherspoons, I couldn't care less. Sorry. I won't be going in one.
I don't drink much anyway, but I won't go in one purely on the fact of how you treated your staff. Yeah. It was disgusting.
So sorry, we got all serious there.
And as well as that was a serious one, very unusual for us. But as well as that, he doesn't actually live in this country anyway, so stuff you.
Anyway, number three, because I'm not talking about it anymore. Number three, Mick.
Number three. You like this? ABBA.
I know about this.
Yeah. I might nick one of yours here. ABBA.
No, you've not, but I know about this.
Nearly 40 years on, ABBA are actually making a new album. They're all in the charts now anyway, so they're making really good news themselves. They're going into the charts.
Yeah.
And they're being digitally enhanced.
What for though? Do you know? Do you know the end to this story? What they're doing?
I missed the end bit. I believe it's for a show in London.
Not just London. What they're doing, they're putting on shows all around the world like they're doing a tour, but it's not. It's just a hologram.
Oh, cool.
And they're going to sell tickets. It's like a proper concert, but hologram-wise. Bit lazy, that, for me.
Bit strange. I did actually watch them. I did actually watch them talking about it. And I did, obviously, I know a little bit about the history about one of the ladies being from a dodgy side of the war. I think it was called the Liebesborn or something like that.
Yeah.
So she had a very interesting life. But they're all there. They're all still going, and they're going to make this number one. I'm sure it's going to be there because they are really good fun.
I must
admit,
admit,
they're a happy band.
I'm not an ABBA fan. However, a lot of people do like them, and they're uplifting and they make people smile and get up, and that bit I do like. But the music-wise, for me, no.
This is the point. I bought an album the other day, and I was listening to it in the car, and it's a set of about 5 discs. So I started playing and they're really happy. It's like, working 9 till 5. It's dun, dun, dun. It's really good, happy music. And then the last one, I'm not joking, it was like Pass the Razor Blades Out. It was so depressing.
On that note, with this line of it's so depressing, subscribe. And we'd really enjoy that. That'd be fantastic. Just on that note. Anyway, I'm moving on number 3 because... just for time. So here we go. So there was a woman attacked by an alligator. Okay. However, when authorities have said, okay, the alligator, something needs to happen to stop this happening again, she's pleaded that nothing happens to him because she's in love with the alligator. Made headline news. Yeah.
She's in love with an alligator.
Yeah. Maybe the alligator's her Big Ben. Maybe.
Is he a snappy dresser?
Right. On that note, I think we deserve to move on. Right. 30-second sports review this week. Right. I might not need much time, but I am going to take my time just on the last one because it's quite an interesting thing to talk about. So I'll whiz through the rest and then we'll talk about the one. So my 30 seconds. England have won 2 games out of 2 in the qualifiers this week. Well done. The England cricket team had an excellent start against India and managed to throw it away and lose. Max Verstappen pipped Lewis Hamilton to the Dutch Grand Prix. He's just took over the lead again. That's getting very exciting for once. Naomi Osaka has possibly retired from tennis, citing mental health reasons. I know she's been struggling, but that looks like she's done now. Brazil-Argentina postponed the match 4 minutes into the game. I'll explain that one in a minute, but that was awful. And the Josh Warrington fight as well. Round 2, accidental clash of heads. Pay-per-view at Headingley, sold-out crowd. Had to be stopped on a cut. Oh. So, yeah. I'll just explain that a bit further, though, because I did watch the boxing that weekend. Excellent card. Excellent if you're into boxing. But, like I say, it's headlining at Headingley for the first time ever. That's happened. Sold-out crowd. Absolutely electric. And clash of heads. Fight over. Technical draw. 2 rounds in. Gutting. Oh. Absolutely gutting. But, yeah, Brazil, Argentina. Argentina played against Venezuela. And it's linked to coronavirus, so I'll just explain this. They played Venezuela.
And someone coughed.
No, went to Brazil. They let the game start. 5 minutes in, some health officials marched onto the pitch, told 4 Argentina players they had to be deported immediately.
They'd been pinged.
So they're deporting them. 4 or 5 minutes into the game. You're telling me they didn't know about this before? And they do this to a game while it started? Yeah, it's just, what? Well, right. Nice to know. What I'm getting at, nice to know we're not the only ones in chaos. Yeah. Because it's just, what?
It's quite interesting. This ping thing that they're on about. So, if you bump into somebody, I can tell you from experience, what's an occasion, somebody I know is in a car, and they'd been somewhere, and they were coming back from somewhere, and then they got pinged 70 miles from where they were. Come on. Don't be silly. This pinging system is ridiculous. In fact, the whole thing is ridiculous. You're sending all your kids to school. You're going to let them make their own decision with needle. Oh, it just goes on and on and on.
Interestingly enough, I asked Mick earlier on. Whose grumble of the week is it? And it is Mick's. However, this is not it.
This is not the grumble.
This is 2. Twice now we've nearly got onto it.
Twice nearly. We've got into serious conversation.
I know. Now, what's going on?
The whole point, right? The whole point of this channel is to find obscure or good news stories.
Right. Well, on that note, weather, Mick, it's good news.
It's good news.
It's excellent news.
It's going to be sunny. It's going to be
all week, isn't it?
Apparently, it's going to be hotter than Spain on some days.
So that's brilliant. And actually, Mick's correct for once as well. And that covers all areas.
Yeah.
Right, films. So, We did struggle a little bit this week, so I'll start with films. I know you've got one at the end as well, unless you want to go now. Do you want to go now? Or do you want me to say what's coming out?
You do the releases, then we'll
Right, so we've got a couple of releases. I picked 3. Blood Brothers, which is talking about the relationship of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. For me, I'm a huge Muhammad Ali fan, so that'll be interesting. And say what you want about Malcolm X. They both shaped history, I believe, so that might be an interesting watch.
For those who've just guessed, Matthew likes boxing.
I do.
Actually, he gets in the ring himself, so...
Yeah. Right, Malignant, which I've looked through, and we couldn't help look past the fact it looks like a Venom ripoff. But hopefully somebody who's a bit more educated in this area than I am, then by all means comment below, educate me, because when I look at it from a simplistic point of view, having watched Venom, I don't think I want to watch Malignant.
There's so many films with parasites that
could be, yeah.
assist with it.
The other one as well...
Interestingly enough, I'll throw a weird one in. The human body actually has about 30 parasites at any one time.
I think I've dated a few. Well, that's a different show. Anyway, the other one was Queen Pins as well, with Vince Vaughn. A bit of a dark comedy if you're into that sort of thing. But they were the 3 that stood out for me. What have you got, Mick?
So, right. I've been looking through all sorts, trying to find something of interest this week, which wasn't Marvel or DC related. So, because people are going to go every week, it's something new about Marvel or whatever. Anyway, so I was looking through different things, and I was trying to find something that was funny. So that we've done releases, something funny, makes you laugh, and has a moral story. And it is My First 40 Dates.
Your First 40 Dates?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a comedy film with Adam Sandler.
Oh, I know the one. It's got a different name, that, Mick, but it might be 40 Days. I thought, when you were talking about that description, I thought you were on about this channel. But anyway, there's a plug.
Yeah.
So, 40, 50 first dates. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. I think I've seen it. Yeah, it's a bit slapstick, silly, but it's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Grumble of the week. And you've not had it yet, even though... Mick, it's your turn.
Grumble of the week. Oh, this week has been fairly covered by topics that we don't really want to discuss. So those are the regular ones. We're trying to find different ones. So I was looking through, and I found a grumble of the week is our policeman getting a bit too much.
In what sense?
I saw I was flicking through channels, and I came across an Australian policeman who treated this woman very, very harshly.
Oh, and respect levels and abuse of power.
Abuse of power and everything like that.
To brute force, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I think this has been brewing for a while, so you are. However, I'd like to try and balance that a little bit.
I'd like to. I know it's not an ideal world and everything like that, but I try to watch what I'm saying around people. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I believe that. I'm very democratic thoughts about everything. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you don't agree with it, just agree to disagree.
You don't need a falling out.
Also, one thing that gets me is the lack of being polite towards people. Nowadays, it's they're all this and you're that.
Yeah, and if somebody disagrees with you, it's all shouting and stomping. It escalates, and what's wrong with? We don't agree on a lot of things.
We don't agree, but we agree that that's people's right.
We don't fall out. We don't raise voices. It's like we're just different opinion. That's okay.
Yeah. So I'd like to see.
I'm
more
right.
manners.
Mick's wrong. It's fine. I'd
like to see more manners. I'd like to see yes sir, no sir.
Yeah, I would.
Going back to the dating thing, this is. I'm sure ladies like it as well.
Right.
So
that's your grumble of the week.
That's it, nice and easy. I want to see more respect and more manners for people. So yeah.
Good one. Well, just a quick plug. We're going to follow this up as well. Of a release our second one with dating. So if you've not checked out the last one, please do. Also, if you've not seen us before, feel free to skip back, have a look at some of our other videos. We really appreciate it if you subscribe, turn on your notifications. We're releasing videos weekly. We're doing this news review. We're doing our experience of dating and our tips, because we are both obviously experts in that field. And there'll be much more videos and different topics. So I'll wrap that up now. thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Every view is appreciated, isn't it, Mick?
Every one of you, keep watching. Some days we get crackers. We are trying to avoid as many serious things as we possibly can. So if you've got some funny stories or something, send it through. When
you want us to share.
All right.
We'll stop rambling now. Take care. Bye bye.